Hey friends, welcome back to Falcone Talks, where Falcone talks, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about single player games and my personal problems with them, I guess. Now, firstly, you all know me for Hearthstone, right? Like, I love Hearthstone. I said to my mum recently, and I quote, "The best thing about a video game nowadays is ruining someone else's day." Okay? Slight extreme. Didn't quite mean it as badly as that sounds. But hey, winning a game of Hearthstone, that feeling you get when you beat someone in a one-on-one, it's pretty good. In the same way, the feeling when you lose to someone in a one-on-one, it's pretty bad. I used to love Halo. Hopefully we'll love Halo again soon if they actually do something and release Halo 6 at some point. And I love playing Fortnite as well. For the same reason, you kill someone, you knock them out of the game, ruins their day, makes your day that little bit better. However, because these competitive multiplayer games are so addicting, I find it difficult to find the time nowadays to play the many incredible single player games that have come out over the last year, 2 years. And I think it's a shame. Some of them I have managed to complete, and that's cool. And some of them I've bought and had for a long time and just haven't. And not for any reason from the game being bad, at least I don't think so. Just me not being able to motivate myself to go and play it and experience the story. Maybe it's an attention span thing. I don't know. Anyways, I would like to share with you today some of the recent single player games that I've bought and played. And I want to tell you like whether I've completed them, whether I haven't completed them, why I think that is, what I like about them, what I don't like about them. And the first game, I'm going to do this one quickly. Bloodborne. Bloodborne is, as many of you know, sort of a spiritual successor to Dark Souls. Actually, I think it came out before Dark Souls 3. Did it? I'm not sure. This game is so much fun, but so hard. And actually, I probably spent a good 30 or so hours, 40 hours, I don't know, playing this game. Didn't quite complete it. Got a good 3/4 of the way through. It's one of those games where I always say I'm going to go back to and finish at some point, but never get round to. But hey, I think when you've spent a solid 30 hours playing a game, you've probably pretty much got your value for money there, and I can't complain anything about this game. I don't know why. I've never played Dark Souls 2 or 3. I've played like the first half of Dark Souls 1 about 4 or 5 times. I can spend hours playing these games, and I don't know what it is that makes them so addictive, but they are. I managed to get immersed in the world and in the experience, and that's awesome. So big thumbs up to Bloodborne and the Dark Souls games. Whatever they've done it really well. Next games on my list sort of come in a pair. One is a lot older than the other one, or a year older than the other one, 2 years older, I don't know. But Uncharted 4 and Uncharted The Lost Legacy, which is sort of a sequel to Uncharted 4. But these games are really awesome. I've completed both of these. I think when I was playing through each of these games, it was like, I pretty much want to play this until I finished it. It's so much fun. I love a strict path more than an open world game. I've talked about this often on streams before and podcasts before and stuff. I find open world games pretty tricky because I don't know where to go. And I feel like if I go one way, maybe I'm supposed to go the other way first. And I get trapped thinking, what do the game designers want me to do? How do they want me to complete it? And I know that's often not the point in open world games. The point is you can go wherever you want. But for some reason, I always struggle with that on a mental level. But the Uncharted games, beautifully cinematic. Some of the most cinematic experiences I've ever played. Along with The Last of Us, really. It's the same kind of idea. Just amazing games. Didn't have any trouble completing those. Crash Bandicoot and the Insane Trilogy. This game is my childhood. This and Spyro the Dragon, which the Reignited trilogy is coming out later this year. Can't wait. Had no trouble completing these either. Episodic levels I tend to really like when you can play a level and then stop and then play another level and stop. Levels in video games, I know it's sort of out of fashion nowadays, but I really like the old-fashioned level system. It helps me a lot, just sort of knowing where I am. If I just play in small chunks, I could play one level and then move on. Love that. Now, Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Edition. This is a remake of the game, came out last year. I also own it on PC. and I've never managed to play past like the first 7 or 8 hours, which sucks because when I was young, this is like the first epic game, big quest game that's not a Pokemon game that I ever completed. And so it means a lot to me. Like I have such fond memories of it, but for some reason, I think it's because it's very old-fashioned now. It's very slow in sort of the style of the game. I'm just struggling to get through it again. I'll get back to my PC and play it again at some point. Final Fantasy 15, I don't actually have that on me. I think I actually have that downloaded on Xbox One, so don't own the case. But I sort of had the same problem. I managed to get 10 hours in and then just stopped for some reason and never picked it up again. It's one of those games I hope to return to someday, but the thing is I've got so many games like that, I don't know, if we're being honest, which ones I will and which ones I won't get back to, and that kind of sucks. And this one, Horizon Zero Dawn, falls under the same strategy, same category rather. This game is amazing, really good. The gameplay is fun, the story seems deep and rich. I only played like 10 hours of it, and that's really disappointing. And the thing is, I played it like way over a year ago now. It's gone to that point where if I get back to the game, I feel like I would have to start completely from scratch. And it's just there's so much to play, and then so many multiplayer games to play and absorb so many hours of my time. I don't know when or if I'm going to get back to it, and that's really sad. Horizon's an open world game. Maybe I felt like it was a little bit overwhelming. Next game on my list is incredible. It's not been out for long, and actually I've played a fair amount of this, God of War. I say a fair amount. I reckon I've played 6-7 hours so far, which is great considering it's only been out for a few weeks. I'm getting through it bit by bit. It's a lot of fun. I do think I'll complete this one, despite the fact it's supposed to be pretty long. And this game I cannot wait to get back to. It's so satisfying. It's so much fun. It's actually really difficult as well. Everything you do in the game feels good. I think much in the same way Uncharted, everything you do feels good. And this God of War is just a solid single player game. I really, really hope I don't lose track of this one and I do get back to it and I do finish the story, because I think it's one that's really, really worth playing. Okay, there are 2 games left that I'm holding, and these are the kingpins for me of single player games in the last year. One of these might surprise you more than the other, but these are my 2 absolute favorite single player games that came out last year. One of which I have played through, I think 3 times now, and watched multiple friends play through it all the way. And I guess I'll start with that one. It's Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Now, this game is fantastic. It helped that I played it through on PlayStation VR. I didn't play this through on a screen. I played it through with a VR headset on. And that really, really made a difference to the experience. It's not like the game is full of jump scares, but the odd one is in there. And there is a big difference between someone jumping out at you on a screen in front of you and someone jumping out on a screen like that is taking up your eyes. It feels like someone's actually jumping out in your face, and that is truly terrifying. There were multiple occasions where I would put the headset on, start playing the game, and then very, very promptly turn it off again because I was just too scared to play. The atmosphere in that game was fantastic. The length of the story was only about 8 or 9 hours, which is why I was able to complete it so many times. I feel like I'd rather play through a short story several times than a long story once. I think there really is something to be said about familiarity. Maybe that's why these multiplayer games like Hearthstone and Fortnite are so addicting, because everything is so familiar. And Resident Evil Biohazard just did everything right for me. An absolutely perfect game. But speaking of perfect games, this one is even more perfect. I don't think I've ever played a game that's felt as perfect from start to finish as the game that is in my hand right now. This one's on the Switch, and I think I've flashed it a few times already. You've probably seen it. It's Super Mario Odyssey. This game was fantastic. Again, it's one of those games where everything you do feels good. Every time you jump, every time you throw your cap, every time you pick up a coin or collect a power moon, everything in the game is satisfying. When you learn to play a little bit better, you learn how to do these little trick jumps where you can throw the cap, jump on the cap, and then skip a part of the level. That feels good. Just everything about this game feels amazing from start to finish. Every single power moon you can collect is satisfying. I don't know how to say enough nice things about this game. It's so perfect. And I mean perfect, because there is not a moment where you play this game and you think, oh, I wish I was doing something else. It's colourful, it's bright, the worlds, you actually want to explore the worlds. It's an open world game that's not too open, it's like just right for me. It's kind of similar to Dark Souls in that respect. Cannot believe I'm comparing Mario Odyssey to Dark Souls. But it's just, you actually want to explore the worlds because they're big but not too big. So every area is packed full of stuff. This game gets everything right. And honestly, I was quite tired and on a plane on the way back from, I think, South Korea or China or something when I finished this game. But I actually welled up a little bit when I finished it. And it's not even an emotional story. It's just the powerful music and everything about the game. It made it feel so good to finish. The only thing I didn't like about completing the game was that I didn't have as much of the game left to play. Though luckily there was still a lot of post-game to play and I'm getting through it bit by bit. But this game was fantastic. If you own a Nintendo Switch and do not own this game, you are seriously, seriously missing out. Do you know what? If you don't own a Switch, you're missing out. Everyone should play this game. It is unlike anything I've played before. Anyways, that's my brief talk about single-player games, some of the struggles I've had getting through some of them, and some of the favourite ones I've played in the last year. I'd love to hear what you guys think about single-player games. What's your favourite one from recently? What's your favourite one from all time? I actually don't know the answer to that. Probably Resident Evil 7 or Mario Odyssey. Oh, Undertale was pretty good as well, though. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know all of your opinions about single-player games in the comments, and I'll see you again tomorrow.